gift of willingness. They say recovery begins when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. But here's the truth. Change doesn't start with courage. It starts with willingness. Willingness is that split second when an addict says, I can't do this my way anymore. It's that quiet voice that rises after years of chaos and whispers. I'm ready to try something different. Every miracle in recovery, every clean day, every amends made, every life rebuilt begins with that single word, willing. Hi, I'm a recovering addict. My name's Steve, and this is On Life's Terms. Willingness might not sound powerful. It's not dramatic, but it's the key to recovery. It's the bridge between the life we lost and the life we're learning to live. We don't have to understand the steps. We don't even have to feel ready. We just have to be willing to show up, to listen, to try. Because willingness is what turns hope into action. What willingness really means. When we first walk into the rooms, the word willingness can sound like a slogan. But in recovery, it's not a one-time decision. It's a way of living. The basic text tells us willingness is the key that unlocks the door to freedom. Our disease, though, was built on resistance, on saying no. No, I don't have a problem. No, I don't need help. No, I can handle it. Addiction was a wall of no's. Then something breaks, maybe our hearts, maybe our denial, and we begin to say yes. Yes, I'll go to a meeting. Yes, I'll listen. Yes, I'll believe that this can work for me. That's willingness, not certainty, not perfection, just openness to the possibility that something new can happen. From surrender to action. For many of us, willingness is born from surrender. When we finally admit powerlessness, we stop fighting reality, and that's where the door cracks open. But surrender alone isn't enough. Willingness makes us step through. We used to think willingness meant wanting recovery every day. It doesn't. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable, awkward, or exhausting. Sometimes it's dragging ourselves to a meeting when we don't want to go. Sometimes it's calling our sponsor when pride tells us not to. Sometimes it's sitting in silence and letting go instead of controlling. Every yes builds trust. Every small act of willingness invites grace. That's how we move from surrender to action, from surviving to living. The resistance within. Willingness doesn't come naturally to an addict. We spent years believing control meant safety. Even in recovery, that old habit whispers, I've got this. We might say we're willing, but only on our terms. Willing to stop using, but not to change friends. Willing to pray, but not to trust. Willing to write inventory. Wait. That's partial willingness, and it keeps us stuck. Our disease loves conditions. I'll do it if, I'll try it when. Real willingness is unconditional. It steps forward even when fear shouts louder than faith. The miracle of NA is that we don't have to build willingness alone. It grows through connection, through watching other addicts walk the path. We see their honesty, their hope, their freedom, and we think, maybe I can too. Willingness spreads through example, one addict to another. Small acts, big shifts. Willingness isn't always a leap. Sometimes it's a whisper, a small yes that changes everything. It's showing up early to make coffee. It's saying yes to service when no one else volunteers. It's being honest in a share when hiding would be easier. It's writing that fourth step when our mind says, not today. Those tiny choices create momentum. One act of willingness builds on another until our lives start to shift. We're told you don't have to be ready, just willing. Understanding that one idea can save us. Because there are plenty of days when I wasn't ready to forgive or trust or let go. But I could be willing to be willing. Even that small spark is enough for recovery to work with. The steps in willingness. Every step is built on willingness. Step 1, willing to admit the truth. Step 2, willing to believe in something greater. Step 3, willing to turn it over. Step 4, willing to face ourselves honestly. Step 5, willing to share it. Steps 6 and 7, willing to change. Steps 8 and 9, willing to make things right. Steps 10 through 12, willing to keep growing. We don't need deep understanding to start, only the willingness to take the next step. Action creates faith. Movement creates clarity. We've seen addicts walk in broken, hopeless, and angry, and still willing. They sat in the back, listened, and kept coming. And somewhere along the line, willingness turned into peace. The steps don't demand perfection, only that we stay open enough to keep trying. When willingness fades, there are seasons when willingness fades. You get comfortable, life gets busy, pride sneaks back in. We start thinking, I've got this now, or I'll pray later. That's when humility slips and resistance starts to grow again. The cure is simple honesty. When we're unwilling, we must say, higher power, I'm not willing right now, but please make me willing. That prayer keeps us connected when nothing else does. Willingness rises and falls, but it can always be renewed through service, gratitude, and honesty. When we reach out to help another addict, willingness grows. When we share our truth, it grows. When we remember the gift of our clean time, it grows. Willingness isn't a feeling, it's a choice we remake daily. Freedom in letting go. Letting go is terrifying for an addict. In addiction, control felt like survival. In recovery, letting go feels like falling, until we realize we're being held. When we trust our higher power and the fellowship, we discover freedom. Willingness helps us trade the prison of self-will for the peace of faith. We stop needing to know the outcome. We start believing that life can be good, even if we're not running it. That's the quiet power of willingness. It teaches us to live in faith instead of fear. Living willingness today. So what does willingness look like in everyday recovery? It's saying yes when your sponsor asks if you prayed today. It's taking a newcomer's number and calling just to check in. It's apologizing instead of defending. It's listening more than talking. It's staying after the meeting to clean up chairs. Each of those moments says, I'm still open. Living with willingness keeps us teachable. It keeps us connected to the fellowship and to our higher power. It reminds us that recovery isn't something we finish. It's something we live. And when we live with willingness, our lives become evidence that NA works. The gift of willingness. If recovery has taught us anything, it's that willingness is both a gift and a responsibility. It's a gift given by grace, but it only grows when we use it. When we say yes to the steps, to service, to surrender, our lives expand beyond anything we could have imagined. We become part of something greater, a fellowship of addicts helping addicts, each of us keeping that spark of willingness alive. So if you're struggling today, scared, tired, unsure, don't wait to be ready. Just be willing. Be willing to ask for help. Be willing to tell the truth. Be willing to believe that recovery is possible. Because it is. Willingness isn't just where recovery begins. It's how it continues, one day at a time. If this message speaks to you, hit subscribe and share this video with someone who might need it. You never know. Your act of willingness might be the spark that helps another addict find hope. I'm Steve. I'm an addict in recovery, and this is On Life's Terms.